Okay, so and we're live on YouTube as well. Okay, so now we can go ahead and get started. All right. Thank you, my friends and gents, for being here on this information question and answer session. Today, we're going to show you, the question has been asked, are there before and after pictures of wearing the patches and how do they work? Well, that's what we're going to go over today. So let's start off with, I'm going to share with you the first person. I'm going to show you. I think this one is pretty impressive if you ask me, because this lady, as you can see, she had some serious spinal issues that were causing her a great deal. Do you see the lady's back here? Are you able to see that, Carol?
Oh my goodness, yes.
Yeah, so she had a significant curvature of the spine, caused her a great deal of pain. I don't want to mention the condition because we don't make any kind of medical claims, but it's
Right.
evidence that she's been diagnosed with something and she's suffering in pain. So much so that you can see that there is a fold of flesh in her back because the curvature is so severe. Now, this picture here on the right is just, believe it or not, is just less than 2 months of her wearing the patches. And you can already see how her spine is not only straighter, but the fold has disappeared. And you can also see that a lot of the age spots, liver spots, and so forth that she had on her skin is getting clearer also. So to me, that is pretty impressive to see that she's had that much improvement. And it didn't take a year. This was in just a couple months of time. Next, I'm going to share with you, this is my friend Marcy Preble. She lives here in Mission Viejo, Southern California. And when she started on the patches, she had stage 4 breast cancer that had metastasized. They sent her to hospice. They said they had already done chemo and radiation. There's nothing that we can do for you. She was really actually in pretty bad shape. And you could see from her face that she had a lot of inflammation. You see that around her eyes, her forehead, her entire face is inflamed, right? And you could see her very thin hair because with the chemo and the radiation, right? So this was in 2019, which happens to be the first year that this became available. X39, the mother stem cell activation patch, became available in 2019. So this is Marcy in 2020. This is actually what she looks like. And in 2023, just last year, in fact, I could have a video up. I can show real quickly a brief clip so that you can see she just keeps looking younger and younger. She has this beautiful, shiny, silky, full hair. Her skin looks good. She's a tall woman. She's must have been a volleyball player in in college because she's, I don't know, I think 5'10", 5'11", very tall. She's my antithesis because I'm only 5'1". Love and adore her. And I get to see her, again, she doesn't live far. I usually don't see her in California. I usually see her in Florida, Arizona, Texas. I see her in other parts of the country. I usually don't see her once in a while. I'll see her in California, maybe 2, 3 times a year, but I usually see her, at the different events and so forth. So that's Marcy. So you can see a dramatic difference between, some people have said that's got to be her mother. It can't be her. I'm like, no, that's her. That's exactly what she looked like back in 2019, just 4 years ago. This is what she looks like now. And let me see if I can pull over the video that I have queued up here. Because in the video, then you'll see her talking and you'll see that it's not any kind of Photoshop or filter or any of those things. Oh, it's not letting me do it while I'm on Zoom. Okay, I'm going to have to queue it up. What a bummer. It won't let me. Yeah, the video won't play. I have another Zoom tab open, but it won't let me. Uh, this is another lady. She has an amazing story. Darn it. Yeah, it won't let me queue that up. So I'll have to share just the still photo. So next time we broadcast on Monday, I'll have to share that with you guys. Okay, so then let me share with you this gal. This was also within just a couple months of her wearing the patches. This gal over here. You can clearly see
Oh, it's
she
incredible.
this is just 26 days on the patches. She started on the patches, and this is what she looked like. Look at the her neck. Look at her
Yeah.
jowls. Just look at her entire face. So this is 26 days later, not even a full month. And look at how rejuvenated she looks, how much younger. The jowls are gone, the fat under her chin and her neck is gone. That's pretty amazing. Uh,
Beautiful. Yeah.
yeah. Let me share next. I'm going to share this other one. And here we go. This lady, and she tells us exactly what she did. Here's her before and after. She can tell that she looks, an older lady who gets she looks a little tired, a little fatigued. You can see some wrinkles on her forehead, under the eyes, throughout the face. So this is just 8 weeks of patching. And she said she created a healthy lifestyle that released 17.2 pounds. She walked 4 times a week, drank 4 protein smoothies 4 times a week, ate healthy and whatever she wanted, no diet. She didn't eat after 6 p.m. and she walked 5 kilometers in 51 minutes for the first time in her life. And she feels amazing. But you can see how the skin quality has improved and she just looks younger.
Oh, she looks beautiful.
Yeah, it really is quite
Yeah.
impressive.
Very impressive.
So let's go now to our presentation here. And there we go. We'll get started and we'll talk about X39 and how it does, what it does, etc. So we're going to skip over this Fantastic Five because we are going to focus on the Mother Pluripotent Stem Cell Activation Patch. These patches are not intended to treat, prevent, or cure any disease, nor do we heal, cure, treat, or diagnose or offer any protocols. The suggestions don't replace the diagnosis and treatment by a qualified licensed healthcare professional. We strongly recommend you consult with your doctor concerning your specific health challenge and treatment needed. No medical claims are being made with the suggestions here. So the U.S. Food and Drug Administration has taken the position that all claims surrounding stem cells and healing, and even those from natural products, will be regarded as drug claims. And they also assert that claiming that the use of light to elevate peptides, such as GHKCU, is inappropriate for a general wellness product. So they brought this to our attention in the fall of 2023. My understanding is that as of the first of the year, that we're back to being able to say everything. I want to make sure that all the FDA agents and the bots that scour the social media platforms are all on the same page of music. So I'm still putting this disclaimer until we are notified otherwise. So as a result, we can't say that these are stem cell activation patches, even though we have 90 clinical independent scientific studies that were done in the United States, Europe, and Asia, as well as over 120 global patents in 82 countries that are showing that this mechanical device can actually do what we are saying that it does. So that being said, I'll tell you what we have been able to say and what we now can say. So all of this is possible because in 73, Dr. Lauren Picard discovered that GHKCU copper peptide activates a third of your previously dormant stem cells, turning your genes to a younger, healthier state. So it's like taking a clock and rolling back the hands of time. And now 1/3 of your previously dormant genes, boom, wake up and they're happy and they're awake. And this quick, rapid cellular repair takes place. So what are stem cells? They're actually pluripotent cells. What does the word pluripotent mean? Pluripotent means pluri comes from the word plural, potent, potentials. So it simply means that those original cells, those master cells, those master intelligent smart cells that were there at conception have many potentials. So each one of them can create anything that you need in your body, head to toe, front to back, right to left, front, top to bottom. Can create a cardiac cell, a heart cell, stomach cell, fat cell, red blood cell, bone cell, any kind of cell you need, a nerve. whatever it is that you need from conception until you take your last breath. It can create whatever you need. And the thing to know is that at conception, when your mother's ovum comes into unification with your father's sperm, now you have complete information to the tune of 23,688 genes and stem cells that now can form you into an embryo in the first, 6 to 8 weeks. We can evidence that by the little heartbeat, through an ultrasound. 36 to 40 weeks later, you have a fully formed fetus that turns into a newborn baby. And now you fast forward the timeline to 30 years of age. And by the time you're 30, 50% of your stem cells turn off. And by the time you continue to age, 30, 40, 50, you have 50, 60, 70% of your stem cells turn off until you reach the age of 60. Now you have 90% of your stem cells that turn off. They're not damaged, they're not destroyed, they don't disappear. They simply go dormant until you put a stem cell activation patch, and now you have this rapid repair that takes place. So think of the body as your temporary housing unit. And if you look at inside the body, your stem cells are like printer ink cartridges. And that printer ink cartridge, if you have a brand new color or black and white ink cartridge, then whatever copies are made are exact replicas. They're exact copies of the original, and you can't tell them apart. They're indistinguishable. But when you've used up 60, 70, 80, 90% of the ink in those ink cartridges, now the copy is a faded version of the original. Now, how do the patches work? That's a great question, because if you touch your body right now, you touch your face, your neck, your arms, you feel warmth. If you were to take your temperature, that temperature is evidence of the infrared light that's inside your body, because we are light beings, not just from a metaphysical, spiritual sense, but quite literally. We have scientific proof that we are all infrared light. The electrons that are inside our cells, inside of the molecules, those cells emit infrared light. The electrolytes, which are just like the electrons, are a packet of light information. Electrolytes are the same thing in your bloodstream. And those units of energy that are infrared light carry information. They have information and they have nutrients that are distributed throughout the entire body. So the patches, the way they work is that the mother activation patch, this one activates GHKCU copper peptide, activating your P63 protein. And the way that happens is that, for example, if I were to look at you with night vision goggles, I would see you glowing in the dark. In fact, our military and law enforcement uses night vision goggles to see you in the dark when it's pitch black. Snakes, when a snake sees a human being or any kind of mammal, they don't see what you and I see. They actually see just the infrared light from the mammal. So they just see this light bubble, if you will. So if you look at a diamond crystal, and if I were to shine a flashlight on a diamond crystal, you see how the light is reflecting back off of that crystal, which is a mechanical structure. It's going to reflect back the light into your eyes, so you see all the different visible light spectrums reflect back to your eyes. The same thing will be true with a stem cell activation patch that looks like this. You see the adhesive around it, and that little white dot are tiny little crystals, organic sugar crystals, organic salt crystals, organic hydrogen, oxygen, water, and a proprietary blend of organic amino acids. Then they're arranged in a very specific pattern, in a very specific lattice work, a geometrical pattern, and they're set to a specific frequency to create the effect of what this mother stem cell activation patch does, which is to activate GHKCU copper peptide in the body. So while phototherapy has been defined as the use of ultraviolet light for its healing effects, the patches have been specifically developed to reflect light in the infrared and visible light bands back onto the skin where the patch has been placed. So supported by normal electrodermal skin conductance, the human body gives off a number of materials biochemically, including particulate release, gas emission, ultraviolet, infrared, and near-infrared, and visible spectrum light. This then stimulates the area of the skin, producing improved physiological effects and variations on phototherapy have been used for at least 100 years. And in that time, there's been little evidence of negative side effects. This suggests that this is a relatively untapped option for healing with relatively few risks. So if you look back in history, we've known for thousands of years the Egyptians have used photobiomodulation, which is wearable light technology. Photobiomodulation, what's that giant word, right? Photo means light. Bio, biological, because we're biological beings. Modulation is movement and change. And so the first documented case was in 1895, and in 1903, just 8 short years later, Niels Ryberg Finsen won the Nobel Prize for his research on using red light to treat tuberculosis of the skin. And in his experiment with mice, he found that exposing them to red light reduced both their symptoms and mortality rate from lupus vulgaris. Something to think about. So I want you to notice that these are non-transdermal patches. That's right. Non-transdermal simply means that nothing transfers into the dermis, which is the skin. They're non-invasive. So these little organic crystals, even if I hold this really close up, even if you hold it up like this, you can't really see the individual crystals. You would need a microscope, in order to see those tiny little crystals. But they're non-invasive, which means that when you apply this to your skin, you are not absorbing the sugar, the salt, the hydrogen, oxygen, water, and amino acids. They are there as mechanical structures to reflect back the infrared light back into your body. So this is behaving like a diamond crystal and mirroring back your infrared light that now bounces back into your body up to 4 inches deep. These are organic, holistic, FDA-compliant Class 1 medical devices under the general wellness category. We do manufacture these products at FDA-registered facilities in the US, and our facility in Ireland is registered with the Irish Medicine Board. We manufacture our products to the same standards as a medical device. In fact, our facility in Ireland is ISO 9001 and ISO 13485. That's a quality standard. Now, it's important to drink 50% your weight in fluid ounces of water. Now, if you're not sure that this is a big deal, let me tell you, it is a huge deal. Let me ask you this. Are you aware that when you are dehydrated or unhydrated, that your proteins in your body fold? Yeah, they actually do this. They actually fold. When your proteins fold, they don't work properly. No more than you don't work properly, I would not work properly if all of a sudden, if I couldn't do this broadcast because my head would be under the table if I were folded in half. In fact, not only would I not be able to do this broadcast, I would not be able to go to the bathroom. I would not be able to feed myself. I would not be able to drive a car. I would not be able to function because I'm folded in half. The same thing is true with your proteins. When you're dehydrated, your proteins, they fold and they interrupt something called the Krebs cycle inside the body. You don't need to know about the Krebs cycle. If you're super curious or a neuro nerd like I am, then you can go ahead and Google it and learn more about that. The other thing to note is that when you're 2% dehydrated, you will feel thirst in your mouth. At 8% dehydration, let me show you what a hydrated DNA looks like and what an unhydrated DNA looks like. This one is hydrated properly. So it has a beautiful structure. You see that the helix is intact. On the other hand, when you reach 8% of dehydration in your body, your DNA starts to unravel. That's right. It literally starts to fall apart. In fact, the telomeres at the end of your DNA strand, the sheath, the myelin sheath that's around those telomeres, it starts to disintegrate, and then the telomere lengths start to break off, and that shortens your lifespan. And this is the beginning of disease and all sorts of symptoms and things going wrong in the body. At 10% dehydration, you lose your mind because your brain cannot work properly. Your brain is very hydrophilic. It loves water. Your brain is composed 75% of water. Pretty powerful. And at 12% dehydration, everything shuts down. You're dead. No one can survive 12% dehydration. So it's important to drink 50% your weight in fluid ounces of water. That's why it's such a big deal. Babies are about 82% water. 60-year-old on up is about 55% water. Water is one of the primary building blocks and structures that holds up your DNA, runs your brain, runs your whole body. It's very, very important. Also, you may or may not be aware of it. Did you know that your DNA is an energy amplifier? Now that you know about the structure of water in our body and what an important part it plays, it makes so much sense that DNA is an energy amplifier because it's 92% water. We all know that water is highly conductive of electricity. And in fact, everybody knows not to, with wet hands, to touch an outlet because you'll get electrocuted, right? So very important to know. Oh, by the way, so now as it pertains to how long are you going to wear the patches? So you're going to apply these patches on first thing in the morning, and you're going to wear it, let's say from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. And let's say that you have a wrist condition that's bothering you and you have a lot of pain. Maybe you are being told that you might need surgery for your wrist. So then I would take all 5 patches. In this case, I would take the 1 patch and I would put it on right below my wrist, point to the pain and patch it. That's the rule of thumb. You're going to wear it for 12 hours from 9 a.m. And then at 9 p.m., your alarm will go off, remove patches. And then you're going to match the 12 hours that you signaled your body where all those floodlights were on with 33 additional stem cells working on your body to remodel and repair inside and out your body. Now you're going to match 12 hours of rest, repair, and restore. So the thing to note is, you may not be aware of this, but did you know that your fibroblasts begin to decline when you're just 25 years of age in their production of collagen? Now, collagen is the #1 building block protein for tissue, for skin in the body. Something to think about. No wonder you have 50% of your stem cells that turn off by the time you're just 30 years old. So here we have Kathy, and Kathy suffered for 33 years with autoimmune disorder. And she had wrinkles on her neck, on her chest, and she was suffering from this autoimmune disorder from 3 breast implants that she had over a 33-year period, and had lots of symptoms, a lot of aches and pains. And she also had fine lines and wrinkles. And in January of 2022, this is her picture. We told her, take pictures every 30 days, which luckily she did. And so the first 30 days, this is what her neck looks like. And then she posted this one for March, this one for June. Look, the wrinkles are gone. Now she just has a hint of the lines. In 7 months, no wrinkles, no fine lines. I mean, her skin has been completely rejuvenated, and she has less age spots and sunspots from sun exposure and sun damage. And so long story short, I did invite her to come onto my YouTube channel and to do a Zoom where we could do, like, basically hear her story of body and mind transformation as a direct result of her being on the patches. So in that video, you'll see that she looks exactly like this picture. At the time that she posted these pictures, she would not take pictures of her face. She just not her thing, not her jam, as some would say. After the video, you can watch the video, but you'll see that this picture, in fact, matches that video. And you can tell, like, this Zoom, this YouTube broadcast, I cannot alter the way I look. I can't make my skin more, with less or with more lines. I can't make my hair lighter or darker or anything like that, right? So you can see that she actually matches this. It's really quite extraordinary to hear her story. And she does have a really neat surprise in that video. So if you want to check that out at damelillianwalker.com. All right, so let's talk about the bottom line as to what this mother X39 stem cell activation patch, also known as a photobiomodulation patch or phototherapy patch, what does it actually do for you? So it resets 1/3 of your genes to a younger, healthier state, regenerates cells, replacing damaged cells, restores collagen, rebuilds scar tissue, reduces fine lines and wrinkles, increases energy, sexual libido, antioxidants, anti-aging, anti-inflammation, pain relief within 50 to 100% in 3 to 4 minutes. It improves your hair growth and improves deeper, sounder sleep. Within the first 24 hours of people being on the patches, a lot of people experience relief, a significant amount of pain reduction. They have deeper, sounder sleep and just different improvements throughout their body. Now, everyone is different. So some people, it might take, if you're just on the X39, it might take you a little bit longer. But the bottom line is that there is a significant change as you wear these patches over the next 12 months that you'll be on these patches. We do have a recommendation. We have an advice to give you where to put these points on traditional Chinese medicine acupuncture points. I call it a Veritas Consilium, which is just a true plan of action to magnify the effects of the patches on the body. So you can see here in this image that this individual is wearing the patch on her neck bump, which is governing vessel 14. So the 90 clinical studies were done on 2 acupuncture points. One is acupuncture point governing vessel 14. So if you take your hand and you touch your neck, you touch the base of your neck, the top of your spine, that first bump that you feel, that's governing vessel 14. The other spot is below your belly button, just 3 finger widths below, conception vessel 6. So governing vessel 14 is where your brainstem branches out into your spinal column and signals all of your body. It's a governing vessel. It's a major vessel of the body. Conception vessel 6 is responsible for anything having to do with conception, reproduction, and digestion, as well as hormones. So you get to pick either of those 2 default spots, or if you have pain anywhere in the body, point to the pain and patch it, wherever the pain might be. If you have an eye, you point to the eye, you're going to patch it. If you have jaw pain, you put it on your jaw, below the neck. You have neck pain, put it on the neck, etc., etc. All right. Important, just as a reminder, to drink 50% your weight in fluid ounces of water. So if you're 150 pounds, you're going to drink 75 ounces of water. If you are, which 75 ounces is about 2.2 liters of water. If you're 200 pounds, you're going to drink 100 ounces of water from the time you get up in the morning until you actually go to sleep. So we're going to skip over the glutathione is actually increased when you wear this patch, 30%. So it talks here in this research paper, it's telling you that it produced a highly significant improvement in the physiological functional status of the pancreas, liver, gallbladder, intestines, left and right adrenals, hypothalamus, pituitary gland, and a very significant improvement in your pancreas with a statistical power of at least 72%. So stated differently, all organs here, it says, achieve significant cellular physiologic functional status improvement compared to the baseline with a statistical power of 91%. Okay, moving on. Again, remember to drink 50% your weight in fluid ounces of water. So are you aware that blue light destroys DHEA? That's right. So the LED lights, the computer, the cell phone, the iPad, the notepad, the desktop, the laptop that you're using to watch this right now, that blue light is destroying your DHEA fountain of youth hormone. It causes inflammation in the body and it increases insulin resistance. That all causes, inside your cells, you have a little organelle called mitochondria, and that causes mitochondrial dysregulation, which is the genesis of all disease. Pretty bad. So last but not least, we're going to talk about what this costs, and then we're going to wrap this up. But basically, we obviously can't charge you $1 million. And traditional stem cell therapy by IV or by injection run anywhere from $8,000 to $11,000 per session. And this you can get started for the price of just $5 a day. You can get started on these patches. So if you like what you're seeing here, get back to the person who referred you to this video, and we'll be sure to have your questions answered. Of course, you can always put comments below. I'd be more than happy to answer your questions. If you are interested in just learning more, just subscribe to my YouTube channel because I bring zero cost information and education about all things organic and holistic and naturopathic in nature. I want to thank you for your time. I know that you have a choice in where you put your attention. And for more in-depth about not just the mother stem cell activation patch, but the Fantastic Five, which also include the X49, the glutathione, the carnosine, and the Eon patch, join me weekdays, Monday through Thursday at 7 p.m. to learn more. If you want to have, let me see my to get started text. Here it is. If you're interested in getting more information, again, You can get back to the person who referred you to this video. If you're someone on my team, of course, you can text me, call me, and we'll make sure to get back to you within 24 hours. All right. Thank you for your time and attention. Ciao for now, my friends and gems. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.